I think it's extremely important, especially based on the last data that I've read, that our generation, the millennials, the 20-somethings, alright? Though I'm 31, I'm not 20-somethings anymore. Alright, but this is the batch that has the most aspiration to become a leader. Meaning a lot of people desire to become leaders, to be game changers. You know, we're so inspired with stories of Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, people that changed the industry, and I think that has influenced our generation to become achievers as well. So based on the data, there are more people wanting to become leaders and managers today. And of course, if our aspirations are like that, we have to be very good in speaking. Because a leader is not a leader until he learns how to persuade or convince somebody. And you can only persuade and convince somebody by speaking and acting. And of course, you need those two things. And speaking, I think, is the beginning of leadership. The better you are at speaking, the better you are at your leadership position, right? It's going to be an embarrassment for you that, you want to start a company, but you can't even hold an important meeting. You can't even hold a proper meeting. You know, it's embarrassing for you to be a leader of your company if you can't even sell your products properly or do your services properly. I mean, it's an embarrassment to be a leader if you can't motivate or inspire your staff. I have 3 tips. Number 1 is to do it, okay? Or to engage in as many speaking engagements or speaking opportunities as you can. I believe that speaking is 50% brain and 50% physical activity. So nobody gets good by just listening to me speak. I think a lot of people get good by actually also doing it. The more you do it, the more you expose yourself into certain situations, I think that's where your improvement will lie. Okay. Another tip that I have for people to become better speakers is really being organized. Okay. As I said earlier, one of the ways to handle nervousness is to keep it simple. And that entails a lot of organization. So the more organized you are, the more that you prepare for your speaking activities or speaking engagements, I think that's the more that you can become a better speaker. You know, now I have a system that my outline is just mental now, right? But of course, it took me a lot of years of training since I was 12 years old, 13 years old, making speeches. Now that, of course, I'm extremely experienced speaker, my outlines are just in my head now, okay? But of course, there's still a system of writing it before when I was beginning. Now it's just a mental outline, and I think being organized, when you go to speech coach classes, we teach you how to keep everything simple, how to keep it organized, so you can deliver it better. And number 3, of course, is one of my favorite methods in becoming a better speaker is reading aloud every day. As I said earlier, it's practice, right? But if the situation is, what if you don't have anybody to converse with at home? That's the number 1 method of Filipinos to become good speakers. Like, let's speak English at home. And somebody would say, sir, what if nobody speaks good English at home? I would always say that what I did was I read aloud every day. I did not grow up in an English-speaking house. I think my family, when I became speech coach, was extremely surprised that I could speak really well. Like, really? Yeah, and they asked me, how did you become a good speaker? I said, remember the nights, all these years, that every night I'm very noisy at my room? And they said, yeah, we thought you were crazy. No, I wasn't crazy. I was reading aloud every day. 10 minutes every day, exaggerated reading, 1 paragraph over and over again. That's how you become a better speaker. That's how you control your fluency. And when you go here at speech coach classes, we teach you something we call the science of reading aloud. There's an actual science how to read aloud for fluency. So I think that's one of the best ways to develop fluency, especially to our country, which is a second language, or an ESL country. Okay, I have 2 passions in life, if I'm allowed to say that. Number 1, my first passion in life is to motivate and to inspire as many people as I can. I think my higher purpose in life is not just to earn money, it's not just to run a business, but I think the main motivation I have in life is to inspire and motivate as many people as I can. And I believe that God has given me talent to speak, to be organized, to keep everything simple in terms of the way I look at things. Simply because, He has tasked me to inspire a lot of people and motivate a lot of people. And I think at the beginning that was the mission of Speech Coach. I was very lucky that at the age of 20, when I started out as a trainer, a professional trainer, I had this clear idea of, I want to become a motivational speaker. I wasn't the best student. I didn't have the exceptional grades as my other colleagues had. But when I started working, it was very clear in my head that, hey, I wanted to become a motivational speaker. So that has led me to where I am today. My other passion in life is, of course, to help people, as many people as I can, as many people as my company can, to become better speakers. I believe that this is one of the skills that in every company you need it. Because I don't think a company will run well if you don't have good speakers in them. Is it even possible? That's actually a good question. Now, of course it's possible, okay? Because you have to understand what success is. The favorite definition that I have in terms of success comes from Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale would always say that success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal or goal. In short, he would always say that if you know what you truly want, and you think it's an ideal goal, it's a worthy goal, it's not just a cheap goal, and you work on it every day, that is success. So, if you understand this at an early age, I can tell you become successful. And as I said earlier, I was lucky enough to understand what I wanted at an early beginning. I already had an obsession to become a very good speaker, to be a motivational speaker, to be a speech trainer. And I'm already obsessed with that. And from day one up until today, my life has been about that. So it's definitely possible. Now, how to succeed before 30? I think first and foremost, figure out what you want. Right? That is the number one question. In all our life coaching sessions that I do, that's the first question that I ask people. What do you truly want? And is this can this want of yours affect you and affect others? Because if it can, it's a worthy ideal. Number two, get ready to pay the price. Because once you set a goal, get ready to pay the price. So if you set yourself to become a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, or to become a great speaker, or to become a number one student in your class, when you decide to do that, be ready to pay the price. Be ready to work your ass off. Be ready to handle all the issues that are going to be given to you. Get ready to have some sleepless nights. Get ready to pull out your prayer book and pray to God that everything that you're planning will work. If you're ready to pay the price, I think you can become successful before 30. And if you look at our society, we've had a lot of successful stories of people succeeding. Like Mark Zuckerberg invented Facebook before he was 30. The CEO of Snapchat recently had his IPO and became a billionaire. Right? And of course, people are saying Mark Zuckerberg is so scared. I don't know. But at the end of the day, these are examples of people that can succeed before 30. And after you've achieved your goal, it doesn't stop there. You've got to set another goal and achieve it. After you achieve that, set another goal and achieve it. And I think that's a cycle of life. I think that's how you're going to live a long life. If you keep on trying to motivate yourself, finding things that are worthy to be your goals, and trying to achieve them every day of your life. Of course, you can take some big vacations, as Sir Richard Branson, owner of Virgin Companies, would always say, if you are working very, very hard, make sure that you also play very, very hard. Okay? But for me, my life is, different. I like to work very, very hard, but at the same time, I just like to relax. I like to read a book, whatever. So I think so. And of course, another tip that I think I can push to become successful before 30 is don't stop studying. One thing that I do every day is I study for 30 minutes to 1 hour every day. I read books every day. If I have a problem, I go to my books, and that's what I do. Of course, sometimes I ask people, but I think I'm doing that with major issues in life. But mostly, I can find a lot of solutions in a lot of books that I read. So I think if you think when you graduate you stop studying, no, I don't think so. It's funny for me because when I graduated, it was the time that I realized that learning was more important than ever before. So that was the time that I read 30 minutes to 1 hour every day. When I was in college, when I was in high school, I didn't want to study. I hate this. When I graduate, I'll stop studying and start working. Apparently it's different. The more that I realized that I studied, the more that I became successful. The more that I was sharp, the more that I paid attention to detail, the more that I understood what I needed to do. Alright, so I think that's how you become successful before 30. Okay?
Thank you.